We're in the middle of no place, Nevada, actually Good Springs, and we're very fortunate to have the location we're working at today called the Pioneer Saloon, which is really historic, kind of one of those places that unfortunately is disappearing. We're lucky enough to be here and shoot here all day. It presents a lot of possibilities. What I'm trying to do is transfer this experience that we're having here on location onto a printed page so that somebody who looks at the picture, who could be a million miles away from here, is going to have, a reaction to it and is going to be engaged by this location. And, there's really no greater tool, in lots of ways as a photographer on location than the choice of color, the control of color. And that's what we'll be about today. Sorry. Yeah. We're here at the Pioneer Saloon, which is this fantastic place. It's got so much character and richness, detail, all the stuff that we live for as photographers, and so many locations we get sent to are completely devoid of. This has got it. I mean, there's pictures bouncing off the walls in here. When I'm looking around for the very first minutes on location, I go through a pretty crucial series of assessments in my head. I call it location assessment, and every photographer should do that when you walk into an environment like this. And the first thing, obviously, I'm looking for is, where's the light coming from? Light is coming from the windows, the doors. So I'm looking down this aspect of the bar here, and I'm picking up a lot of angle of incidence, angle of reflection, kind of highlights. The floor is backlit. We got some polished wood on the bar here. That's picking up some light. That's going to be crucial to me because that's going to give the picture in that background area some life and depth and dimension. It's going to be some blown out highlights, which could be kind of cool, and also, some shadows. I'm not afraid of shadows on location. Taking my cue from an old editor at Life magazine told me, look, if you want something to look interesting, don't light all of it, which is really, really, a terrific piece of advice. I'm not going to light this whole room. What I'm going to try to do is let it be what it is, because it's fantastic. And then I'm going to take my flash, my speed light, and filter it into the situation so I don't overpower it, but I just kind of shape the picture and let it come to me. Right now I have the camera set up on an auto white balance. It's an aperture priority setting, 0-0 compensation dialed into the camera. I'm going to take a look and just see what the camera feeds back to me. All right, 1/8 of a second at f4 is what it came back to me, ISO 400. I'm thinking I want a warmer result. The auto white balance is rendering the scene as neutrally as possible. The camera's trying to give me a completely balanced assessment of the colors that are presented in this scene. So I'm going to take the white balance feature of the camera, I'm going to dial it over from auto white balance into cloudy. It's still a daylight balance, but it's a warm version of daylight. Let's take another look. The scene is drastically warmer than it was. There's the original frame. There's where we are now. Much more appealing. Psychologically, we associate a color with places. You look around, the light's warm, the place is warm, it's inviting. That's where I want to go with this. One of the reasons you come here to the Pioneer Saloon to photograph is not only is it a fantastic place to photograph, there's incredibly beautiful women who are just sitting at the bar and they're willing to let you take their picture. So it's, I would come here every day if I had the choice. Let's just see what available light does here. Looking good, looking good. Stay with me now. All right. So 1/10 of a second at f4. I've got Sherry, in the frame. She's roughly where I want her, but there's no real good light on her. So the very first thing I'm going to go and do here is I'm going to put a flash on the camera. And let's make yet another bad picture. All right. Thanks. Sorry. Looks, predictable. It's kind of hard. What you're doing is you're throwing light at your subject. You're taking this unbelievably fancy and wonderful camera and you're turning it into a Xerox machine. So, interpretation. Remember, no camera system, as smart as it is, and this one's really smart and gives you really good solutions, but no camera system is going to solve every problem for you. And no camera system is going to give you the aesthetic, response that you are looking for as a photographer. You have to make those inputs yourself. One of the principal inputs you're going to make is the color of the light. Okay, so the very first thing I'm thinking about is changing up the color pattern here by introducing a gel. So if I could ask Drew, where are you, Drew? What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take what I call the smart filters, these filters with a chip in them, the IC chip. I have it nestled in here in the filter holder. And this part of the filter, the chip part, is going to nestle into the speed light right up in here. And there's a sensor area right in here. So now what I've sent to the camera is a message that I've changed up the color balance of the scene. Okay, I've turned this white light, daylight flash into an incandescent flash. All right, and the camera's going to pick up on that, and it's going to shift. The reason it's going to shift is I'm in auto white balance. This will not happen in other color balances. You have to be in auto white balance or in flash white balance. Okay, so we're in auto. Let's see what happens now. Let's see what the difference is. Okay. It's an amazingly different result. Okay, we push the whole thing into a different realm color-wise, much warmer, and I think this gives us a good starting point. That's great. Perfect. Good attitude. All right, now I've got the whole scene in kind of register, but I'm still working, you know, with a straight flash. So I'm going to change this up. Let's go to a light shaping tool. So what I've got going here now is a small softbox that's going to go onto the flash, and I'm going to pull the flash off the camera. Thanks. Now, this cord maintains the computer conversation that the camera and the flash are having. Because I'm left-eyed, I keep the camera balanced on my left shoulder, and I actually bring my flash around to the side here. Let's go to this, TTL. Let's try this, okay? You ready? Great. Good, good, good look, good look. Great. One of the things I oftentimes do is I double diffuse. Hunter, let's come in here. Okay, looking good, looking good. All right, gonna dial a little flash power in there. All right, getting there. Now, guys, let's bring it in even closer. Okay, bring in a reflector, please. You're not gonna light this face with a hard, nasty light, okay? This is not Clint Eastwood we got here. We have a beautiful face. Come overhead, okay? So what I have going here is kind of a classic beauty combination, an over and under kind of light that is making this sort of bar atmosphere retain its essential character, but also giving me a beautiful upfront light for my subject. What's happening is that I want to take that overall balance of the room and not be sort of cool with it. I want to go to a warm white balance. So I'm going to go and change up things to cloudy, which means now I'm dropping that communication factor out between those chips, the speed light, and the camera. Now, those are out of the game. Let's give a look at this, and I think we're going to get a result that's way, way too warm for Sherry. So let's pull that out of there. Let's go back to a white light solution on the flash. Perfect. Perfect look. That's great. Awesome. If I move a few degrees right, I've got this incredible blown out highlight of the door. I get away from that highlight, turn back to the bar, I've got really dim bar light. This is where the ITTL system really, really comes through for you, because it's making those adaptive changes in the flash output and the exposure of the camera while you're actually moving, which to me is a huge benefit. I'm thinking the flash is a little too white, so let's take a, actually let's make it a quarter. If you can find a quarter, let's go with a quarter. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of finding my way to a picture. You know, I'm playing with the systems of the camera. I'm dialing in plus and minus and this and that and the other thing into both my camera exposure and the flash. And always remember, when you're on location like this, there's an ambient condition being presented, and what you're doing really at that point is you're playing with ratios. You're playing with the white balance, and we've kind of sorted our way through to a good one at this point. I kind of like the way the warmth up front is interacting with the overall warmth of the place. We haven't overdone it. We're right about where we should be. So now I'm going to concentrate on the gesture of my talent and also the overall exposure and how hot or how dim I want that to translate into the background. So right now, I think what I'm going to do, because I might want to drag some shutter, could we call for a tripod and get that in on the set, please? Perfect. Okay. Ah, bingo. Bingo. We're there. What happens here, you know, is that you're able to take the systems. I mean, look at the quality of light. That's a blow up here of what we have. And that's really, really a beautiful kind of luminous quality of light. And we're getting at it one flash, automatic, you know, systems functioning real quick. So that's what the beauty of the system to me. Awesome look. Awesome. Stay with me. That's perfect. Perfect. Stay there. Please stay there. Don't move. That's great. If you move, I'll kill you. I swear to God. I've actually told that to people. They get nervous. They get nervous. Okay, now something just happened in the background there that's kind of cool. Guy went out the door. Now, to most folks, that wouldn't be a significant event. But to me, it kind of is a nice gesture to have there in the background. Hunter, I'm going to ask you to be the guy in the door. All right, just kind of open the door. Cool. Okay, you're good, you're good, you're good. See what I'm doing here? I'm getting my assistants to move the lights in as close as they possibly can. Reason being that you get the most quality of light out of it that way. Beautiful. Okay, we're done. All right, got ourselves a picture there.